So hey guys, what's up? It's your favorite cousin and I'm back with another video. So in today's video, if you are or if you have been the one that's always giving back, that's always there for people, always the shoulder to cry on, and you are a lot of people comfort zone, I want to explain something to you. You are a pillar within this community. People around you, they love you, they need you in their lives. Without you, a lot of times people wouldn't have anyone to communicate with, to talk to discuss their problems with. But I want to look at things from a different angle, and I want to take a chance and a moment just to focus on you and your well-being, which meaning it's okay to be there for people. It's okay to love on people and celebrate people. It's okay to be a shoulder to cry on. I understand all those things, but there should come a point in your life where you are taking time for yourself, because when you're dealing with these things and you're dealing with a lot of people problems, then you have to make sure that you're okay. You don't necessarily always have to say yes. You don't have to be the nice guy all the time. You don't have to do this or you don't have to do that. What you should do is where God is leading you to do and what he's leading you to do. But everything else in between that, it's okay to say no. Sometimes we get so wrapped in, being there for other people that we forget about ourselves. We neglect ourselves, neglect our health, neglect the things that we need emotionally. But if you don't give it to yourself first, you can't give freely, because at some point you're going to feel like people are sucking the life out of you. They're draining you mentally, physically, spiritually. And it's going to get to the point where you're just going to be so frustrated with helping others that you're not even going to want to do the gifts and the ability that God has given you. So learn to, when you are a natural caregiver, learn to take care of yourself. That's so important. So important. Because if you don't take care of yourself, if you neglect yourself, I'm telling you, it can be detrimental to your life, to the people who love you, who need you, who depend on you. So take the time for yourself. Learn how to say no. Learn how to, not right now. Today is not a good day. Know who you are. Know how much you can take. Know how much you can give without draining yourself psychologically. Understand these things, because if you don't, then you're going to wonder, why are you so angry? Or why are you so sad all the time, or depressed, or this or that? It's because you have neglected yourself by placing other people in front of your needs. We don't have to play the role of Christ in everyone's life. You're led to help certain people, and that's what you do. But when your time is up, you have to remove yourself for your own mental capability. And this is for men and women. We put on too much on our plate, on top of the things that we are already responsible for. And you guys already know that when you start doing this, they're going to come, the people that has been around you, that has had no good intentions for your life, or are upset because you're no longer the person that they can mistreat or whatever. They're going to get mad because you have placed a boundary up, but we know that already. Again, this is not about them. This is about your life and your personal needs in order for you to function in this world today. We already have a lot of stuff going on a daily basis. And to constantly deal with someone else's problems, on a daily basis, it become overwhelming sometimes. Saying no does not make you the bad guy. Saying no, I have to step back in order to get my mental health together, does not make you wrong. But only people who have benefited, or people who have taken advantage of your niceness, they're the ones that's going to be angry. But regardless of how they feel, you have to stand your ground. You have to say, hey, this is a boundary that you cannot cross over. You cannot just do it. It's a no. Like, you can't do it. And if they get mad, if they get upset, you have to reevaluate those relationships and ask yourself, you know, why is this person truly upset? And be honest with yourself. But a lot of times when we are natural caregivers, we take this complex on that, you know, we are God because our hearts want to help people. But we are not God. And he sent people like you and I to help, but not to take on the burden, because at the end of the day, we can't do what he can do. We can't change lives like he can change lives. So it's time for us to stop playing God in people's lives. And to be honest with you, sometimes when you remove that comfort blanket, that comfort zone, then people are faced with the reality of the hard truth. And they're either going to swim or sink in this life. But you have to remove yourself or set boundaries so that people can see their own strength. You can't cuddle on a constant basis, because when they get out into this real world and dealing with people that can care less, then they're going to feel lost, or they're going to expect everyone to have the same behavior as the people that surrounded them, that loved them, care for them. But the hard reality of it is, it's not like that in this real world. So you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable with saying no. And that's the bottom line. And you can practice this little by little. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic change, but you can just start saying no to the little small things. And don't go back and change your mind because it feels uncomfortable with other people, or you don't want to make someone else upset because of the choice that you have made. Just start saying no. Not today. I don't feel like doing it. You know, just start with the small things, and watch how when you begin to say no and you set those boundaries, the world is lifted off your shoulders. You don't have this God complex anymore, because you're not trying to be God in no one's life, anyone's life. And like I said, if God sends you to help, then of course that's what you do. But you can't take the whole burden on by yourself, you know? And a lot of times we help people who are not ready to change yet. And that's okay, because we all have an encounter in life to where it's either we're going to do it or we're not. And if they're not there, if they never get there, then that's okay as well. Doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that you don't care for them. But you're not going to put yourself in a position to go backwards because they don't want to change for better. You can still check on them. You can still love them. You can still pray for them. But to be around them on a daily basis, no, because you are the company that you keep. You begin to act like that, consciously or unconsciously, you know, like you don't even realize it. And next thing you know, you're back to the things that you had to pray yourself out of. So love yourself, put God first, learn how to say no, and be okay with people walking away from you because you set boundaries. That means you love yourself, you're starting to recognize and to see people for who they are and not just a title, and you want to start a healthy life. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next video.